Hey guys, welcome back. Tonight I've got 3 real stories sent in by listeners who went camping way out in the deep woods and barely made it back to tell about it. These happened miles from any help, where the trees are so thick you can't see the sky, and every sound feels like it's coming from inside your own head. Dim the lights, get comfortable, and let's start with the first one. Story 1. The Whispering Hollow. This one comes from a guy named Alex. Last fall, he took his dog Luna for a solo trip in the Adirondacks. He parked at a dead-end logging road, hiked in 6 miles until the trail just stopped. No signs, no blazes, just a narrow deer path winding between boulders covered in green moss. The air was cold and wet. Every breath tasted like iron. Alex found a small clearing beside a creek that gurgled over black stones. He set up his one-man tent, tied Luna to a tree with a long lead, and built a little fire. The flames hissed when pine needles hit them. Luna kept staring past the fire, ears up, tail still. Around midnight, the fire was low. Alex was zipped in his bag, Luna curled at his feet, when the whispering started. At first he thought it was wind in the leaves, but the words were clear, soft, overlapping, like a dozen people murmuring at once. He couldn't catch any full sentences, just pieces. "Come back." "Still here." "Ooh, cold." The voices came from every direction, bouncing off the rocks. Luna growled low, hackles raised. Alex sat up, clicked on his headlamp. The beam swept the trees. Nothing. The whispering stopped the second the light hit the darkness. Dead silence. Even the creek sounded muffled. Alex waited, heart hammering. 10 minutes passed. Then the voices started again, closer, right outside the tent walls. Luna barked sharp, lunged at the door. Alex grabbed his knife, unzipped the flap an inch. Cold air rushed in, carrying a smell like wet earth and old pennies. Something pale moved between the trunks. Tall, thin, no face he could make out. It glided more than walked. The whispering rose, louder, almost pleading. Alex slammed the flap shut, held the zipper with shaking hands. The voices pressed against the nylon, like mouths right on the fabric. He yelled, "Get away!" Luna went crazy, snarling and snapping. The voices cut off mid-word. Alex didn't sleep. At first light, he packed in a panic, left the stove, the chair, everything. He and Luna ran the deer path, branches slapping his face. When he reached the truck, he found the driver's side window smeared with muddy handprints. Small, like a child's, but the fingers were too long. Inside the cab, on the passenger seat, lay a single Polaroid. It showed Alex's tent from above, taken in the dark, fire glowing tiny. In the corner of the photo, pale shapes stood in a circle around the clearing. Alex never saw them. He still has the picture taped inside his closet door. Every time he opens it, the handprints on the window are back, fresh. That was the first story. Let's head deeper for the second. Story 2. The Lantern Man. This one is from Sarah and her boyfriend, Nate. They picked a spot in the Black Hills of South Dakota, an old gold rush area where the pines grow twisted and the ground is full of sinkholes. They found a flat meadow ringed by aspens, white trunks glowing in the moonlight. They set up their dome tent, hung a lantern from a branch, and roasted hot dogs. The sky was huge, stars so bright they cast shadows. Around 1 a.m., they killed the lantern, crawled into the tent, and fell asleep to the sound of wind in the leaves. Sarah woke to a soft yellow glow outside the mesh window. She figured Nate got up to pee and took the lantern, but Nate was snoring beside her. The light floated maybe 20 feet away, bobbing gently like someone carrying it on a walk. Sarah watched, half dreaming. The light drifted closer, slow, steady. She could see the shape of a man now, tall, wearing an old miner's hat, the kind with a carbide lamp. The flame burned steady, no flicker. Sarah's skin prickled. She nudged Nate. He woke, saw the light, and whispered, "What the hell?" They watched the lantern man stop at the edge of their sight. He raised the light high like he was looking for something. Sarah saw his face. Gray skin, hollow cheeks, eyes just dark pits. He turned his head slow and stared right at the tent. Nate grabbed the bear spray. The man took one step forward, then another. The lantern flame turned blue. A smell like burnt sulfur leaked into the tent. Sarah's throat closed. Nate yelled, "Stay back!" The man stopped. The flame went out. Darkness swallowed everything. They waited, breathing hard. Minutes dragged. Nate risked the flashlight. The beam caught the lantern hanging from its branch, exactly where they left it, cold, no fuel burned. But on the ground beneath it lay a circle of old miners' picks, rusted, arranged like spokes on a wheel. In the center sat a single gold nugget the size of a quarter. Sarah and Nate packed by flashlight, left before sunrise. They took the nugget, couldn't help it. Back home they had it tested, pure gold. But when they put it under blacklight, tiny letters glowed on the surface. Mine! They threw it in the river. 3 nights later, Sarah woke to the smell of sulfur. On her nightstand sat the nugget, wet, shining. Last story takes us to the Cascades in Washington. Rainforest thick, ferns up to your waist, every surface dripping. Story 3. The Echo Game. This one is from a family of 4. Mom, Dad, and 2 teenage daughters, Lily and Grace. They backpacked into a valley called Mist Hollow. No cell service, no trails after the first mile. They found a campsite beside a creek that roared white. Moss hung from the cedars like curtains. They set up 2 tents, cooked chili on a whisper light, played cards by headlamp. The girls laughed about Bigfoot, made spooky faces. Dad told them to zip the tents tight. Bears love chili. First night, rain hammered the fly all night. Everyone slept hard. Second night the rain stopped, but the air stayed heavy like breathing soup. Around 2 a.m. Lily woke to her own voice outside the tent, clear, whispering her name. "Lily, come play?" She froze. Grace was asleep beside her. Lily shook her sister. Grace opened her eyes, heard it too. "Grace, come play?" Same whisper, same pitch, but coming from the trees. The sisters stared at each other, scared to breathe. Dad's voice called from the other tent. "Girls, you okay?" Then Mom's voice, same tone, same distance. "We're waiting." Dad burst out with the flashlight. The beam swept the site, empty. But the voices kept going, circling, sometimes close, sometimes far, always their own voices. Lily started crying. Grace covered her ears. Dad yelled, "Show yourself!" The voices laughed, 4 laughs at once, perfect copies. Then silence. The creek sounded louder, like it was inside the tents. Morning came gray. The family packed in 10 minutes flat. As they shouldered packs, Lily noticed the ground, perfect footprints in the mud, barefoot, leading from their tents into the trees, and coming back out, deeper, like something heavier walked the same path on the return. The prints stopped at the creek, vanished into the water. Halfway down the trail, Grace screamed. She held up her phone. Screen cracked, but the voice memo app was open. A new recording, 47 seconds long. They played it. 4 voices, theirs, whispering in perfect unison. "We'll follow the sound of your footsteps." All the way home, they deleted the file. That night, back in the city, every phone in the house pinged at 2 a.m. Same recording, re-downloaded, playing on loop. They smashed the phones, bought new ones. A week later, Lily found a muddy barefoot print on the kitchen tile right in front of the fridge. The print dried and flaked away by morning. But every night at 2 a.m., the house fills with the sound of dripping water. And 4 voices, soft, calling their names from the hallway. Those were the 3 stories from the deep woods. Alex still checks his closet for new handprints. Sarah keeps smelling sulfur in her sleep. Lily and Grace refuse to record anything ever again. The forest is quiet until it decides to speak in your voice. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.